All right, I think we've hopefully given everyone enough time to log on to the webinar, so I'll make a start. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. My name is Lucy and I'll be your host for the webinar today, where essentially I'll be asking Jane some exciting questions about a new feature to SwiftFox Tasks. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and pay our respects to them, their culture and their elders past, present and future. I'm joining this meeting in the lands of the Wurundjeri, Woiwurrung and Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation. And as always with our webinars, feel free to pop any questions you might have in the chat and we'll get to them as soon as we can. But I'm delighted to introduce our speaker today and one of SwiftFox's software engineers, Jane.
Hey guys, Lucy and me are really excited to introduce you our new feature, Tasks.
Yeah, so we definitely are. And just to start with the basics, you're probably wondering what this new feature actually is. So SwiftFox Tasks is a feature that is going to help our users stay on track of their deadlines and more generally with their project management. So you can kind of think of it like a to-do list, but on SwiftFox, where you can not only assign yourself tasks, but you can also assign them to other members of your team as well. But I'll hand things over to Jane to expand on this a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So basically every day of our personal and working life is filled with the tasks and to-dos. And people keep track of these tasks in a variety of ways, like starting with sticky notes and writing them in a diary. But the bigger challenge is how do you keep track of everyone's tasks, especially when you are doing them, performing them at work. So that's when the challenge comes through. And as a company, main goal of SwiftFox is to make your working life simpler and running organization very easy. And tasks is just one part of this puzzle. Like we have a big puzzle which we want to make up, so it's going to be just awesome and use. It reduces double handling because everyone can see each other tasks and keeps track on it and resolve it, mark them as done, assign someone or edit them or like do various different things. We're creating one united platform which allow you to concentrate on things you love and you want to do, evolving your business while reducing time wasting activities.
Yeah, like Jane said, it is very important that SwiftFox provides that place for users to have everything that they need to compete in that one platform in one place. So we do want to make things as easy as possible. And, tasks or having to-dos are kind of fundamental to any team or any project. So, we really believe that you shouldn't have to be scrambling, trying to find a piece of paper you wrote on or, having to switch to a different platform just to be able to stay on top of your deadlines. So yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah, and basically when we're working on any features in SwiftFox, before doing it, we do a big major research, like in always, to ensure that the feature we introduce are really valuable and like that's the thing what we need to use. We don't want to fill the SwiftFox with millions of features. So you will search through, how all these random apps when you can't find the track and you just like losing the track of it. So in our case, we decided to work on something which will help you to manage basically your life. And that's how we came up with the task.
Yeah, and I think when it came to building this new feature, the product team really had to think about how the user will want to use it and how that experience can be as smooth as possible. So, for example, they sort of thought about things like the different stages a task could be at. So, whether it's complete, it's in progress, or it's an upcoming one. And, they really had to think about how this feature could incorporate those things in a way that's intuitive for the user as well. And another example is the fact that, say, if a team was running a project, it would be helpful for team members to assign tasks to one another or to see what stage someone else's task is at any given time. So that's another thing that really was taken into consideration when this feature was being built.
Sure. I think it's a great description of everything we've been working, but I think that's the time when you can just like do some presentation. And I would like to do a screen share if the host would let me.
And the really good thing about this feature is, you can categorize what stage the task is at. So, you know, things can get really hectic when you have a lot to do and you're trying to work out what to prioritize. But this feature sort of allows you to see, you know, what's overdue or what you've already completed. And it's a good way to sort of have a place of reflection on projects in future when you need to look back on what you've actually done.
Yeah, just give me a few seconds.
No worries. Zoom is always quite temperamental with screen shares.
Yeah, we just have some settings with the host, and I need the host to allow me to screen share.
No worries. Maybe
Oh, yeah, cool. Okay.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah. Just give me a sec. All right. Here we are. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, I can see that.
Awesome. Sorry for this a little few minutes, but oh well, let's go. So I would like to introduce you our new feature, which we call tasks. First of all, we do have a task menu on the left side, which you can just go in the navigation and you can see them clear, and just go and take a look how it looks like. So we have the full page selected for the task. This page, in this page, you can see what tasks, like all the tasks for today, for example, on this page, and we have all the future tasks which has been not completed in time, and tasks which like all tasks all together. So what is a task actually? Like, we've been talking about tasks all the way along, but like, what is actually? Let's create a task together and take a look. What is it? It's basically like a sticky note which you're writing on your desktop. But then imagine that it all united with like all your company and team members, so you're never gonna lose it. This is pretty much what it is. So let's just create a task, and we will create a task to Lucy to share some presentation. Let's just start writing first. So we can in the text format we can write what we wanna to say about the task. And we can take some people, and we can set up the date. The setting of date is not necessary, but if you would like to set the date, you can set up a date, and we can search for some person and assign it. All right, cool. So what like actually happens if someone tag a person, organization, and so on? Like, would they be assigned for the tasks? And it's like a bit complicated. So basically, tasks have a couple of things we can notice like right now. First of all, it has a title, which means what the task is. Let's print the files. Then we have a date. We have a person linked. When we link in them in the text, and you can hover over, you can see the person's profile in case if you're not searching for something. And then you have a person assigned. Assigned person is a person who has his task for my own. So if you would go to the page when it's multiple tasks, you can see your task. You just click the assigned task and you will see the task which assigns for you, which you need to do. And you have different stages of a task, as I mentioned before, like today, upcoming, and completed, and all.
And so I could assign my colleague a task if I needed them to do something just by, would I tag them or?
Yeah. So basically, if you want your colleague, if you want someone, like, let's say, if you want to assign a task, in this case, you will put him as an assigned person. In case if you want to change it, here comes the second part. We just click on the task and we have a task. We have a date when it's still, and we can change it. Let's say we don't want to actually be an assignee. We want someone else. We want Jane do it. So we're just going to search for Jane and save it. And the task will be assigned for the person. So what, like, that's great that we can create the task, but like, what's, you know, like what are we going to tag them to? Like, they're just like hanging in nowhere. So the main thing about that, and that's the second part of a feature, I would say. If you look closer to the page, you will see a few difference between these tasks. Some of them have this resource and some doesn't. So basically, if it doesn't have a source, it means that the task has been done, created just like this, without any connected item.
Right.
But then, if you go, let's say, for the project, like what tasks help you? Tasks help you to break. You can break one if you have a goal to achieve. You can break it in multiple smaller tasks and write them, and then you will keep on track of a task. Currently, with the projects page, and in the projects in our action row, we have a selection where we can create a task. Let's say we have row with the dates and we're not sure about the dates. We would like to create a task. Let's say, okay, we would like to pick a date. Pick a date. So this will be pick a date. So we're saving it up. And then we have these little numbers with the task. You can go and see the tasks here. You can just edit them and stuff like that and change them and keep track on in case if you pick a date, you're like, okay, we already picked a date. You can just mark them as done and it's going to be completed. That's great, but like, you have so many projects, especially if you're in a company, like you have so many projects usually and so many tables, and like you're not going to search throughout all the tables to find exactly which one is which and where it is task and stuff. So this is kind of that's the other amazing things comes through the source. So we have this option to use a source in case if you forgot regarding what you created this task, you're like, okay, I have some please print the files, but I don't know what the files should I print and where from. Like you can just click on it and see the source. Source could be a post or a project row. And in this case, you're like, okay, that's a task. And then that's the source. You know what you meant to do, like what towards you meant to do this task.
And we had a question from the audience, which was, what is the little beta sign above the task symbol?
Yeah, sure. And so basically, as we mentioned before, like the main idea of our both platform is to make it accessible, united, and put in use. And then we creating new features. We do a huge research, we work on it, we do a big testing round, but we understand that the main thing is not how we want it to see, but how the customers do our users like it in use or do they not? And because of that, when we create a new feature, we're gonna put this better sign. And but we would like to collect opinion from the users to see what they like and maybe would like improve. And we already have lots of ideas of a tasks version 2, which would be somewhere in the future. And we would like to make it just exceptional. So we definitely looking for your reviews and feedback.
Yeah, it's exciting. I had another last question from the audience, which was, is there a maximum to how many tasks you can have at once?
Yeah, no, there is no limit of amount of tasks how you can have at once. They just unlimited as long as you have a time to do them all. And as soon as you're done, and you can mark them completed and then just go. I will show you in a second where they go. So basically, as I mentioned before, you can create a task towards different things. You can create it towards the post. In case if you create it towards the post, you'll have like a little number with the task sign where you can see the task. And same with the item. And if you don't have any task, it will be empty. You can see it by empty drawer where you can write a task if you want to. When the marking tasks is done, they're going to completed stage, and you can see them here in completed stage. They're all done. In case if something has been changed, you can kind of go back and say, oh, actually, I have not been done. And then it goes back from completed. And I probably would mention the last thing, if you're talking about the people, especially when we, let's say, tag in some of them. Let's say, okay, we have a person which we tagged in our text, and you as a person, you can go to your own profile and you have this little task pop over. But you can see two tabs. One is a mentioned tasks, and the other one is a sign. The mentioned one is if someone was writing a task title or task description and would mention me as a person there, and that's why it comes to the mentioned task. And assigned ones are the ones I have to do. So it's easier to keep track. You have your personal tasks as well at the same time. You can see them in selection here, and you can have the tasks for all the team. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I can already see the different benefits that this feature is going to bring to users. So it's very exciting. And we've been using this a little bit ourselves internally, and we really love it. And for me personally, I think it's made sort of time management a not so scary thing anymore as well. But unless we have any further questions, we might wrap things up there. So thanks everyone for coming today. And thank you, Jane, for being our speaker. We look forward to hearing your feedback on this new feature. And also remember, you can always get in touch with our team directly at support@swiftfoxcrm.com. We'll also have a recorded version of this webinar up on the website very soon as well. So if you need to go back and refer to it, you'll be able to do that as well. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.